Hello everyone, it's Dazzling One, and I usually don't post two videos in the same week, but this story by the Business Insider really grabbed my attention, and it was posted on Tuesday, December 12th, 2017, and it addresses a few things that have been discussed on this channel, one being the automation of jobs, the criminalization of homelessness, and how robots are being implemented into our day-to-day lives and we're moving more toward an Orwellian society. Robots are being used to deter homeless people from setting up camp in San Francisco. And if you look on the screen, you can see a picture of the robot outside of the SPCA organization building in San Francisco. A security robot has been put to work in San Francisco in an attempt to deter homeless people from forming tent cities. The robot uses lasers and sensors to monitor an area for criminal activity. Rather than intervene during a crime, it alerts human authorities. The robot's owner, the San Francisco SPCA, said it has seen fewer tents and car break-ins since it deployed the robot in the city's Mission neighborhood. In San Francisco, autonomous crime-fighting robots that are used to patrol parking lots, sports arenas, and tech company campuses are now being deployed to keep away homeless people. The San Francisco Business Times reported last week that the San Francisco SPCA, an animal advocacy and pet adoption group, put a security robot to work outside its facilities in the gentrifying Mission neighborhood. The robot's presence is meant to deter homeless people from setting up camps along the sidewalks. Last week, the city of San Francisco ordered the SPCA to keep its robots off the streets or be fined up to $1,000 per day for operating on sidewalks without a permit, according to the Business Times. Krista Maloney, media relations manager for the SPCA, told Business Insider that staff wasn't able to safely use the sidewalks at times because of the encampments. Maloney added that since the SPCA started guarding its facilities with the robot known as K9 a month ago, the homeless encampments have dwindled and there have been fewer car break-ins. And if you look at this tweet on the screen by Sam Dodge, he said, "Yes, 2017 was the first time I saw robots used to prevent encampments in SF. Hard to believe, but it's real." Here it is in action, and we see a picture of K9, the robot, securing the area, and K9 happens to have K9s on it as a decoration. K9 is part of a crime-fighting robot fleet manufactured and managed by the startup Knightscope in Mountain View, California. The company's robots don't fight humans. They use equipment like lasers, cameras, a thermal sensor, and GPS to detect criminal activity and alert authorities. The intent is to give human security guards superhuman eyes and ears, according to Bill Santana Lee, CEO of Knightscope, who spoke with Business Insider earlier this year. Knightscope rents out the robots for $7 an hour, less than a security guard's hourly wage. The company has over 19 clients in 5 U.S. states. Most customers, including Microsoft, Uber, and Juniper Networks, put the robots to work patrolling parking lots and office buildings. Preventing crime is part of the pitch that Knightscope makes to prospective customers. Increased police presence can reduce a crime, though this is not always the case. If I put a marked law enforcement vehicle in front of your home or your office, criminal behavior changes, Lee told Business Insider earlier this year. The K9 robot circling the SPCA has drawn mixed responses. Within the first week of the robot's deployment, some people who were setting up a homeless encampment nearby allegedly put a tarp over it, knocked it over, and put barbecue sauce all over all the sensors, according to Jennifer Scarlett, president of the SPCA. A Twitter user reported seeing feces smeared on the robot. Some people took to Twitter to express their disappointment in the group. NLCHP Homeless tweeted, "It's disheartening that SPCA would show such a lack of compassion to our houseless neighbors." And we see a picture of these two robots here. Red Riv tweeted, "So SPCA is using a security robot to deal with homeless people in encampments near its Mission campus. An organization that helps homeless animals can't think of a better way to respond to its homeless human neighbors." Others recommend the robots for cleaning up the streets. Shane Patrick Connolly wrote, Leave it to San Francisco to rebuke security robot that deterred encampments from taking over sidewalks and reduced discarded needless and crime near nonprofit. A spokesperson for Knightscope declined to comment. And that's it for the story, but I find this all very fascinating. And what I think about the situation that's so messed up is that we're seeing another instance of the criminalization of homelessness. And the problem with this is they mentioned that this is a gentrifying neighborhood. Gentrification simply is when they're kicking out people from their homes, usually upper middle class people who want to move in and clean up the neighborhood. Well, it sounds like a noble ideal at first when you realize that people are being pushed out of their homes they've lived in for years, and many of them don't want to leave or they don't have the money to leave. A lot of them end up homeless. There was a girl in one of my classes who talked about how because of gentrification in our area, a lot of the people were homeless and the homeless shelter was overflowing. And even some of the people that worked at the homeless shelter became homeless. So it's just crazy that you have this nonprofit organization and this gentrifying area. Nonprofits are supposed to do good things, but they're putting out this robot to drive the people further out of the community altogether. And then we have this issue of just privacy and invasion here. So they mentioned how we have 5 tech companies using this already, and Uber, I guess, isn't a tech company, but you have 5 big companies using this robot, and how long until we see these robots rolled out in schools, in hospitals, by banks, any large business. And this is going to displace a lot of jobs in the security guard field. We know that the automation of jobs is inevitable, and they said they can pay this robot to rent it less than they can pay minimum wage to a security guard, and they said it can have superhuman eyes and ears and be more effective. And right now they're acting as if it's going to work alongside human labor, but how long until this robot displaces those workers? And then, of course, we just have this issue of robots on every street. To me, it's kind of odd to have robots sensing our movement and motion and all of that, but this is the world we're moving more toward, this science fiction dystopian type of world, and it's just sad to see those on the lower ends of the socioeconomic strata being affected first, but this is usually the way everything starts. And I'd like to know what you guys' thoughts are on this, but I find the whole situation sad, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care, and God bless.